Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm so excited for this new video. Alright, now I'm going to talk about nicotine withdrawal. What it feels like, how long it lasts. Okay? So, let's get to dingin'. Alright, after you haven't had a cigarette or whatever you're getting nicotine from for a while, you start feeling like a ticking time bomb. That's one way I can describe it, you know. You are literally a ticking time bomb that could go off on anyone at any moment, okay? So, yeah, you're kind of feeling like this. And then once you finally have a cigarette or whatever you're doing to get the nicotine, you feel like this. Ah, yeah, that's better. Ah, yeah. You know, um, that's based on my experience, okay? I was a ticking time bomb without my nicotine whenever I used to do nicotine products. All right? And how long does nicotine withdrawal last? Well, it depends, you know. It depends on how much nicotine you are using. It also depends on how long you've been using it. In most cases, the bad effects of nicotine withdrawal will only last you for 3 days. Sometimes it can last you for 5 days, sometimes a week. So, yeah, you know, it really depends on the person and it really depends on how much you're using and how long you've been using, you know? So, yeah. How did I quit? Well, for me to tell you how I quit, I need to tell you this story, okay? I need to tell you all the products I have used. I've used like probably everything but nicotine patches, which is what you put on the skin to get your nicotine, you know? First it was the cigarettes, and then I tried Nicorette gum, which is nicotine gum. And then I've tried nicotine lozenges or whatever they're called. They're like little pills that you let melt into your mouth and you get the nicotine. And you can only have one of those a day, you know, because there's a lot of nicotine in those things. So, yeah. Um, and I've also used dip, something called dip. It's pretty much tobacco in a round can, and you open it, and then it's pretty much like it's supposed to be moist tobacco. You grab a pinch and you put it in your lip, you know, and then you close it back so the tobacco doesn't dry out or whatnot, you know. So, yeah. And you just let it sit in your lip for a little while and you have to spit, you know. I've done that. I've also tried vaping. I've also tried nicotine pouches. I've even snoozed. Okay? So I tried a lot of nicotine products, a lot of types of nicotine products. Okay, so pretty much all of them except for the unknown ones and the nicotine patches that you put on your skin. So yeah, how did I quit? Well, after a while of smoking, vaping, and then dipping, and then, you know, nicotine pouches, I kind of went back to smoking cigarettes for a little bit, you know. And after I went back to cigarettes this year, I then started to think. You know, I started to think of certain scenarios where I could be living a healthier life, you know, and have more money in my bank account. So, pretty much I thought of quitting, you know, because I know if I didn't quit later down the road, I'm going to have some problems, rather it be medical or severe financial trouble, you know? So, yeah, there's all kinds of troubles that could be caused by an addiction, okay? So I started smoking less and less and lesser cigarettes as I thought about this. And then there was one point when I was only smoking one cigarette every 7 hours. So I figured, hey, since I can go without cigarettes for that long, do I truly need them? Or is that just what my brain is telling me to do, because my brain has been wired by nicotine for so long that my brain is literally used to having that rush of nicotine in the morning and during the night and whatnot, you know? So it could just be my brain telling me, hey, I need nicotine. And then next thing I know, I just pull off the band aid, and then my brain just, you know, it eventually, what is the fucking word? It adapts. Your brain adapts without the nicotine eventually. You know, it is a hard thing to quit. All right. It was a long battle for me. I did struggle with this addiction. Okay. And there's these people who have never smoked in their lives who think, oh, you can just put the cigarette down and everything. No. When you're talking to a nicotine addict is not thinking like that. No. This is how they're thinking. I need it. 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 You know, I need the drug. You know, I need the drug so I don't experience nicotine withdrawal or get nick sick or whatnot. Whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much what was going on in my head. Now each each person is different. Some people might think of it another way. Like, oh, I'm not addicted. They might you know being naive or whatnot, or in denial of the addiction when they're actually addicted. I know people like that, and yeah. So that's pretty much how I quit nicotine products, you know? And that's pretty much all the nicotine products I tried, okay? And that's a lot of fucking nicotine products that I've tried. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Want to see more? Subscribe. Got anything for me? Leave a comment, you know? So, yeah. Goodbye.